can you maybe explain to people, like, there's so much collagen on the market, why we're different, and talk about the activation?
Yes. Okay. So will be totally honest, that I always heard of collagen. I knew scientifically kind of what it did, but because I had never been involved in a collagen company, I kind of didn't really know a lot. So when I heard that we were going to be launching collagen, and I know that we had been asking the corporate scientific team for quite a few years to launch it, and they're like, because our story is so unique. We're a biotech company and we have activation products, and we do have some products that are, just really great in their categories, like our probiotics, not activating anything. Well, it activates growth of new probiotics, but so does the other companies. So a lot of people would say that we're late to the game. But our story is so different, because when you understand what activation is versus supplementation, which we also have too, it's a whole different ball game. And so I started researching collagen, what it does, why it's important, what, parts of the body. It's basically everything from your heart to your skin, to your eyes, to your nails, to your hair, to your joints, every part of your body. Even your bones are made of collagen. If we didn't have collagen, we would be a blob of cells, like a puddle on the floor. So we all know, it's crucially important for us. And as you get older, as we age, your collagen production declines and declines and declines and declines, from when you were a youth. I think the peak is like 20 years old, and then it starts to decline. And so that's important, for not just because we don't want wrinkles. Of course, we want to age gracefully, but it's important because we don't want our heart to fall apart. I just read something yesterday. I'm always reading and educating myself, 'cause I'm a nerd, that your heart starts to change shape and starts to get a little droopier and droopier, and weight gain and all kinds of things can actually impact that. But you have the opportunity to stay healthier and keep your heart intact. And I would bet to say that if I went down that rabbit hole, part of the piece of the puzzle might be collagen, right? Because that is what's holding everything up. So we all know it's important. If you know, right? It's important. It's vitally important to literally every single component, every part of your body, every organ of your body, inside and out. But what makes ours unique? And so our scientific team said, yes, we're late to the game, but we had to do something different. We had to be an innovation in true LifeVantage nature. We had to be an activator. So they went to work on what things actually activate collagen. A lot of companies have great collagen, whether it's bovine or whatever, or marine or blah, 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 whatever. But what it's doing is it's taking your cell, let's just say this is the cell, and it's just putting collagen in. It's giving you supplementation of collagen that's been lost, which is great if it's bioavailable, if it's hydrolyzed. Hydrolyzed means smaller parts. There's a lot of feature benefits that can give you better results than the garbage you can, buy at Walmart. Obviously, if you buy them at Walmart prices, you're going to get Walmart results, right? But we went a step beyond that. So we do use a marine collagen that's hydrolyzed in 5,000 milligrams. We use 10 types. Many companies only use 1 or 2. And we have clinical studies that show that it actually increases your collagen density by 21.5% in 4 weeks, 42% in 8 weeks. I can only imagine what 12, 16, 20, 24 weeks looks like, considering some of the results that you've seen and we have in our community of customers and consultants. But the second component is that we activate it. So there's an ingredient in there that's proprietary to us that actually is a plant ingredient. So it's not giving you collagen, but what it does is it activates your body's 3 collagen producing genes to start your factory up. It's a factory that all the workers had gone home maybe 10, 15 years ago, and there was a couple here and there on some shifts. Now it's working a little bit more around the clock to start pumping, which is why our collagen density 8-week trial was so powerful. So you're actually upregulating and starting to produce it from in your cells while consuming it. But wait, there's more. And we have a third component, which is maintaining. So we lose our bodies, our cells recycle, our skin recycles, our heart cells, our mitochondria, everything's recycling constantly. You're like a new person. I want to say it's like every 6 months or like every year or something. You like not one cell of you is the same. Like you're all new cells, right? Well, collagen's no different. But we lose collagen. There's a lot of different reasons why we lose collagen. Age is one of them, environment, etc., genetics, that we turn on a collagen, actually turn down a collagen breakdown gene. They found out there's some reasons that our body might break down collagen to use in other parts of the body that aren't really like that important when they looked into it. So we actually turned down one of the collagen genes. So you're not only activating, you're replenishing, you're maintaining. So ARM. And that's truly why, we have some people that after like 5 months, it looked like a mother-daughter. It was so powerful. It was like, that's the same person. She looked so much, the deep lines just get less deep. The color spots get less dark. The grooves get less grooved. I can't even tell you, some people look like they're 20 years younger in just 11 months. And that
I can't believe what I look like in 60
yeah.
days.
Your
and
eyes
it's
look
not
so
just
bright.
me looking in the mirror going, it's walking into our studio and people going, damn, but two things I want to talk about. And I'm one of those, let's get the elephant out of the room kind of girl. So a while back you said Marines. So I want to get the elephant out of the room because, again, being linked to collagen for many, many years, have had many people say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I've got to stay away from. Well, our extraction process is very unique. So if you guys don't know this, when you do come across marine collagens, generally the extraction is done out of the fish. And we don't do it that way. So do you want, I can say it in my Michelle layman's terms, but do you want to kind of like talk the smart? No.
Yeah, we just use the parts that were already harvested, which is also very sustainable. We're not going to make any claims just in case, but there's a lot of people who have fish allergies that have actually been able to take the collagen, and those who are brave enough have had absolutely no adverse reactions. Also, I want to say that there's a lot of things we can do to increase our collagen. Things that break it down: alcohol, caffeine, smoking. Have you ever noticed a smoker ages like 10 times faster than a
around
regular person?
Their mouth,
around
drinkers,
their mouth,
their nose.
Yeah, so wear some sunscreen on your face, UV radiation, alcohol again, all these things that we love, caffeine. Those are things that are proven to break down your collagen. So again, if you really want to look at it, I'll never forget this, and I do drink some alcohol some once in a while, but I heard Jennifer Lopez stop drinking alcohol because she heard that it broke down her collagen, and she's like, I don't want to look at it. That's why she looks like she's 35 at 50 something. But anyway, there's a lot of things we can do, but this is going to do it. This is going to improve your skin either way. So whether you make lifestyle changes, I don't think anybody in any of those before or after pictures started wearing more sunscreens, reduce their alcohol, reduce their caffeine, or reduce their exposure to UV lights. And so I think that at the end of the day, these are going to give you results. But if you want to hyper your results, I love to give people value beyond like just take a product, right? There are things you can do to help you have better results.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that in 1 second, but I wanted to just rewind a second because, we are talking very vain right now because that's super important to a lot of women. Maybe to men too, but just talking from personal experience. But I will say, the other component that people don't realize how important collagen is, and the right collagen is helping with inflammation and pain in the body.
Oh, for sure.
Which, turning double nickels, I can tell you, I don't think I'm my age, but I sure as hell feel it sometimes. I will say that this, I suffer from bulging discs, and not making medical claims, but I can tell you, I feel that for me personally, my inflammation has definitely decreased because I can feel it in the way that I move and the way that I wake up every day. And I know that is 100% due to that part of what collagen does to the body.
Well, that was one of my biggest results, because I'll be honest, like I've already used some extraordinary skincare from our company, Biotech Skincare, clinically proven as well, patented. And I got rid of my crow's feet years ago. Like I've been in the company 7.5 years. It probably was in my first 6 months. My husband's like, you really do look younger. So I didn't have crow's feet, but our clinical studies show that it decreases your crow's feet in the human study by 22%. Ladies, if that doesn't, get you excited, I said, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood must be wet, right? But here, going back to like, I know that's a funny one. Going back to what you're saying, within about 3 or 4 months of taking it every single day, I have had tendonitis. I'm 49. I've had tendonitis since I was 17 years old from running track on a dirt track. In fact, I had to take like 6 months off of track, when I was in high school, and it was kind of a big deal. It was a lot of pain. And so for my entire adult life, running on pavement, I can run a little bit on a treadmill. It's like the lesser of two evils, but it still will eventually hurt. Snow skiing, cold, climbing too many stairs. Like I tried to do an incline one time and I was like, I got to peter out my knee. I just can't do it. Probably within 4 months, I was like, okay, we launched in June. I can't run on pavement in June. I can't run in July. It's 110 degrees here, right? July, August, September. So finally around early October, I walk 3 to 4 miles every day with my dogs. And I was like, okay, it's cool enough that I can actually run. So I put it to the test and I run a few blocks. The next day I ran a half mile. And this morning I was actually late for an appointment and I was on the phone, I was talking, and all of a sudden I looked down at my watch. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had to run about 3/4 of the mile today. And I was sweating so bad. It was only like 85 this morning. I was sweating so bad. I took a cold shower, got dressed, dried myself, got dressed, and I sweated for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I boob sweated, I back sweat. Like, that's how far I ran. And I'm telling you right now, it didn't even dawn on me until I started talking collagen, because the lady actually that I was meeting with, she's a friend, but she also owns a med spa. So we started talking like, oh my God, in the back of my head, my knee doesn't hurt. Like, so that's the longest I've run on, by necessity, on pavement. And I'm like excited that I might actually try to run my first 5K, which would be very exciting, because I've always wanted to run one, but I'm not a runner because my knee hurts.
Yeah.
So, but let me tell you why that is. So we have our own endogenous antioxidants, which means your cells produce 99.99% of the antioxidants that you need for overall health, longevity, and disease prevention cannot come from food. They have to come from your own. And here's why: you have 50 trillion cells. Even if every cell just needed one antioxidant, a serving of blueberries is amazing, but it's 7,000 antioxidants. How do you divvy it up? You get 1/10,000th, you get 1 millionth, you know what I mean? And so your body actually has SOD, which is your antioxidant, and every molecule, which exists in every cell, every molecule is 1 million antioxidants times 50 trillion cells, okay?
It's a lot.
So let's play a fun game, right? So let's say you have one molecule, 50 trillion times 1 million. We're already at a number that wouldn't fit on any calculator in the world, except for if you're working for NASA. And taking the collagen, are you ready for this? Increases that production of SOD in every one of your cells by 2,700%. So you're not just getting collagen, you're getting antioxidants by the decillions, I don't even know, quadrillions, quintillions.
It's a lot.
And it increases your catalase, which is an enzyme necessary to actually utilize those antioxidants. And we have a new study going on, and a little birdie told me, because I asked when I was at corporate, I said, did you guys test glutathione? And she said, we did.
Ooh.
And glutathione is the most important antioxidant in your body. Your body spends 6% of its entire production and energy production every day to produce and maintain glutathione, which also decreases about 1% a year. Alcohol decreases it, sugar, toxins. And so building back your glutathione is really important. So that study is going to be done on our collagen with our flagship product, and that should be it's already filed for the patent, and that should be pretty soon.
And that's, I want to segue into talking about our flagship product, because when I first started talking to you, we talked collagen, and then you started telling me about the little blue bottle, which is like incredible and insane. So let's talk about that. And then I want to kind of circle back, because you can hear us saying everything that we're saying, and people could be like, oh, that's great, you're making all these claims. We're not making these claims because of how these studies are being done and where they're being published. So let's talk about Protandim first.
Yep. So this is why our company was founded for about, 7 years. It was our only product. It was launched in 2003 as from a science biotech company. We were not a direct sales company. We were not a network marketing company. It was a couple scientists in a lab in Colorado. One of them who won the Elliott Cresson Medal, which is from the Franklin Institute. I think it's bigger than the Nobel Prize. It's for people who make a discovery that will impact billions of people. So like Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, Marie Curie for vaccines, diesel for the diesel engine, right? These are huge, and only 250 of these medals have ever been given out. So he was a recipient. And what he discovered was that we have our own antioxidants, which is the superoxide dismutase. And so he spent the better half of decades, 4 or 5, 3 or 4 decades, seeing out, is there anything we can do to turn those up? Because if we can turn those up and give our body more antioxidants, we can lower the oxidative stress. And we now know that there's, I think, over 400,000 studies, 300,000 studies, that oxidative stress is the biogenesis or pathogenesis, I should say, of over 220 diseases, mainly anything with itis, inflammation. So like the number one cause of heart disease is oxidative stress. The number one cause of arthritis is oxidative stress. And this was proven. So he tested herbs and all these things that are natural NRF2 activators. NRF2 is a pathway. It's a protein messenger that once it's activated, it binds to your DNA, and it basically senses, like it's like a thermostat, what's going on in the cell. Is there oxidative stress? If so, let's release the hounds, right? The firefighters, so to speak, to clean up the fire or the inflammation in your cell. So this is clinically proven to increase your SOD, your catalase, your glutathione in 30 days. And decrease your oxidative stress, that rusting of your cells that leads to the disease process. Again, you have to make the connection, I can't, by 40% in 30 days in every human of all ages, races, backgrounds, smokers, non-smokers ever tested, and around average of 70% in 90 days. This sent shockwaves through the health industry. We were on an ABC primetime investigative report, which we can send to you, in 2005. And that is your husband knows about ABC, he works for ABC. It's a consumer protection report that basically exists for consumer protection. Like, is this science or is it snake oil? So the host, John Quinones, had his blood drawn, and in 3 weeks, his oxidative stress went down 45%. And so even in the video, it says basically your oxidative stress will go down to what you'll see, he says, quite frankly, in an infant. So it reduced it back to about 20 years old for everyone in every age, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years old. So people that were 80 years old were now aging like 20-year-olds. And so you can kind of see that's really important. And so in 2009, after failed attempts, because this was prior to social media, this was prior to internet marketing, they were selling about a half bottle per store per month, vitamin shops, CVS, Whole Foods, and what's it called? GNC. I'm like, it starts with a G. And wasn't selling because people needed to be told the story. Every time they did a re-airing, their $20 million of sales would come in, and they were doing about 10 million a year total. And so in 2009, some consultants said, what if we did something crazy and took it out and put it in the hands of entrepreneurs and let them tell the story? 3 years, we went from 10 million a year to 200 million a year. And the rest is history, because this is extraordinary. We have 7 patents, and this product right here has 31 published peer-reviewed studies. For those of you who don't know what a peer-reviewed study is, it means that we had other people that were not affiliated with our company duplicate the results that we got. So they substantiated the results. So there is no, when people are like, oh, you can skew the data to say, you cannot skew it in a peer-reviewed study. And those are the studies that are published on PubMed. So we have 28 of our studies on PubMed, and they're all on this one bottle.
I love it. And that's, that's been my most favorite part about all this is it's like, don't believe me, go to PubMed, look it up. Go, even if you guys, I never understood really the magnitude of what oxidized stress in the body, like crazy. And what was it last week? Was it the cardiologist that came out about all his patients that he put on? And funny fact, one of my dear friends,
one cardiologist has over 4,500 of his patients on this because he did the research and he tested himself.
Yeah. And it's funny because I asked one of my dearest friends in the whole wide world, her husband, serious issues. And 10 years ago, his cardiologist put him on. I'm like, what's the name of your cardiologist? Not the same, but I mean, that shows you right there. Those two, like his cardiologist is out of Cedars-Sinai, very well respected in the community. Yeah. So when people ask me, because I keep getting, like my girlfriend just Marco Polo'd me, she's like, wait, where'd you go? Why? I go, you don't understand. I feel a need. I felt a need to partner with this company because this is so important. This is so, yes, collagen's great, but man, that putting the collagen, I cannot wait for that clinical study to come out because I know it's going to be like crazy because I can feel the change in my health and in my body. I can just, I'd love to know what's going on the inside.
So just something to say, like, is this important? Is it relevant? Because oxidative stress, let's see. I'm actually on PubMed because I wanted to give you the number because every time, so about 6-8 months ago, we made a slide deck and there was 260 studies, 260,000 studies on oxidative stress. Now today there are 308,000. So in like 50,000 in the last year, let's just call it a year. But when I joined LifeVantage 7.5 years ago, there was a video that had just made a few prior years before it and said there was about 500 studies on PubMed for oxidative stress. Okay, this was, let's just call it 13 years ago because that's when the company started. Guess how many there are today? 26,175. So you're talking a rate of 2,000 studies or 150 to 200 studies every single month that are being published and put on PubMed on NRF2. This is what Michael J. Fox spent all of his money to help try to combat his own Parkinson's disease, spent hundreds of millions of dollars researching NRF2. And you can look up that. NRF2, I know in December of 2016, it said, when it came to and again, this was 7 years ago, the innovations constantly happening, but in 2016, it said that NRF2 activation was the only promising treatment they had for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Right.
And Parkinson's, any brain diseases. And, then I think back about 13, 14 years ago, there was a MS, multiple sclerosis drug company, and the pharmaceutical company was creating a synthetic NRF2 activator. So they pitted our product against other products, including theirs. So pharmaceutical, which cost $50,000 a year, by the way, plus ours, plus whatever ones. And they published that actually ours outperformed it. So then there was another study that was released in 2016 that says that our product, Protandim, is proven to help against the #1 pathogenesis cause of MS, which is oxidative insult on your myelin sheath. So like this is your nerve. The myelin sheath is a coating that protects that wire so we don't get shocked. The oxidative stress, those antioxidants, those free radicals, they're looking to stabilize themselves. That's why you need an antioxidant, stabilizes them. They sit there and pick electrons on until your nerve is one day exposed. That's why you wake up and all of a sudden you have MS, because it's like, boom, all of a sudden that nerve is exposed. So it helps because it neutralizes those free radicals before they can cause the damage. So we have our own MS study. Anyone who has MS that's not taking our product is absolutely crazy. It's natural. It's clinically proven with an MS study. It outperforms a $50,000 a year pharmaceutical drug. I just don't understand like why anyone would ever need, and we can't claim, because you may be doing a lot of other things. We can't say it's going to help you, but studies show that it probably will,
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to respect everybody's time, and you and I could geek out for like hours because it's like my favorite thing, but I wanted to share something with you. Because going in my wheelhouse, which is not really what we promote with LifeVantage, but I am here to tell you, I am dead smack in the love of menopause right now. So, in case you've never walked through menopause, there's this lovely area of fluffiness that starts to happen in your belly, and then your boobage area starts to increase, and your not hundreds, but thousands, if I said hundreds of thousands, my husband would kill me, but your thousands of dollars worth of Lululemon tops aren't covering you. But I started looking at the fat burner, which was not something that I got on right away. It's been 6 weeks today. It is not your traditional fat burner, because in case you guys ever wonder, and my number one question always is, how much caffeine is it? Is it going to give me a racy heart? You know, one caplet equals how many calories burned? It's not like that at all. It actually, in case you don't know this, your fat basically is either brown or white. Okay, brown is good, lean, lots of mitochondrial, energy's pulled from there. When your body starts to change, or you put on weight, or you're going through menopause, or everything's out of whack, and you have more white fat, that's where you're not looking as good as you normally do. Mitochondrial is either non-existent or producing so minimally. And so this product, which I've explained, and I'm actually walking the walk, I tell people, do not expect it to be an overnight instant success. Do not think that you're going to go on it for a week and all of a sudden. So I think most of the studies that we've seen has been 12 weeks. I just hit 6 weeks, and literally I was in the studio today and several women came up to me and said, wow, you are looking, not that you don't look good, but they all know that I've been walking around just wearing extra tops because I refuse to buy more bra tops, and I'm overflowing and I'm not feeling comfortable in my skin. And I know some of you are like, whatever, but you all know what I'm talking about, right? We all have our own things with ourselves. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised because the scale has not budged, and it's at a place where I personally, for Michelle, don't like the numbers to be. And I've dropped 3 pounds, and it wasn't like
you're small, so that's a lot.
But I can
for anyone at home that hasn't seen her in real life, she's very tiny, so that's a lot.
Yeah, no, seriously, because even my husband said to me, he's like, wow, have you like dropped weight recently? And I said, 3 pounds, but 3 pounds on me is a big deal. And it's really just reshifting and putting things back to where they need to be. So, you know, here's what I want to end in this. Everything in our product line is activation. And so the reason why that product is working the way that it is it's reactivating stuff that literally was, I mean, for lack of better terms, dead and not producing and doing what it was supposed to do. And just so you know, before anybody comes on and says, oh, well, you can never turn your white fat back to brown. You're right, but it's beige, and I'm happy. I'll take beige over white.
And we have,
but with that being said, thank you so much for your knowledge. I can just listen to you all day long. If anything that we've talked about has made you go, if you want more information, if you want that ABC study, I can send that to you. I can send you some amazing studies and before and afters on the collagen. We like to say, I heard you say this once, and I roll with it, and it goes with your whole thing. You take Walmart collagen, you get Walmart results. You take our collagen, it's like instead of driving a Honda, you're going to be driving a Bentley. So it's that good. I had a great testimony today from my girlfriend because she's super, super picky. And I know this is huge for people. I'm going to actually post the text in my stories when we get off. And she went, OMG, like, first off, this stuff tastes amazing. She goes, and that's my number one pet peeve. She goes, because she's not like me. Like, if something tastes like crap, but I know it's going to be good for me, I'll take it, where my girlfriend, no. And she says, I love how it is a single shot. I just open it up, slam it, and I'm done for the day. You know, not morning, night, not, you know, mix it in coffee and get clumpy. She goes, I just open my mouth, shoot it, and I'm done. So.
And it's delicious. I hear a lot of people like, oh, the collagen tastes bad, like you said, or it's not that bad. Our collagen, the number one feedback I get is it's delicious.
It's
like
so
I look
good.
forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And fun fact, I'm like, why am I going through collagen so fast? I'm like, Rael, I started counting it. I'm like, how many are you taking a day? And he goes, well, Tara told me to take it twice a day. I go, I'm pretty sure she did not.
Yes,
And I go,
if
and
you
I
could.
counted, and I'm pretty sure you're taking 3 a day. So cut the crap.
I didn't tell him he had to. He asked me if he could, and I said, you can.
I'm sure. You have to understand something about my husband. You give him the slightest little inch,
All
and he
men.
won't take a mile. He'll take 5.
Oh, all men. Honey, that's all men.
I know, right?
But we digress.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, honey, for popping on. And, so many people are asking me questions, and I'm like, ugh, I can try to explain this, but why don't I just go to the expert? And you are my expert. And thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and listening to me.
And by the way, FYI, guys, every year I do this. June, I almost forgot this. Every June, I do Customer Appreciation Month. And so 2 things are going to happen. Whenever you're a first-time customer with me, I always send you a sample of our Axio, which we didn't even get into that, but you will love me for that when you get that. But every week, so every Friday, so the week leading up to it, anybody that places an order, I'm going to go live, Facebook Live on this Saturday and give away something from our product line. And then every single person, including new and current customers that subscribe, their subscription goes through. Anybody that orders on July 1st, I'm going to go live and I'm going to give one lucky winner a $50 Amazon gift card. And so that's my thank you for supporting what we do. And with that being said, you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to go back to my gloomy 63-degree weather and whatever. All right, you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.